Hello, world. Welcome back to another episode of Roll and Keep. Right now, we are playing in a setting called Eidolon Alpha, powered by Cortex Prime. I'm Joe. I'm the content boy over here at Fandom Tabletop and D&D Beyond. I am joined by an absolutely incredible cast, including Mellie, who'll be narrating, or has been narrating this session, Aliza Pearl, Vanessa Guerrero, and of course Cam Banks, the creator of Cortex Prime. And who better to learn the game from than this sweet, benevolent, fair rules daddy who has joined us on this stream. As you guys know, or you may not know, I don't know how you got here. I should know that. That's part of my job. But Cortex Prime also powering Tales of Xadia, the official Dragon Prince TTRPG. You can pre-order it now. We got links flying around in all sorts of places. And also an upcoming Masters of the Universe RPG, all sorts of really cool stuff coming around the bend. So make sure that you are keeping it here, that you're liking, that you're subscribing, that you're following, you're doing all the relevant things necessary to do all that stuff. Let's see here. What business do we really need to get through? Oh yeah, we're giving away copies throughout the stream of the Cortex Prime, a digital copy of Cortex Prime of the handbook. It's a beautiful, absolutely beautiful book. So I'm excited that some lucky audience members are going to get themselves copies of it. These are unlocked by heroic successes, and I don't know, whatever else Mellie decides that they're unlocked by today. But that being said, follow us on all the socials, all that good stuff. I hate being in the way of an audience in their game, so I think I've said more than enough. Hey, Mellie, the reins are yours.
Hey, me. Yes, and let me also just establish that also when we summon eidolons, these massive, giant, godlike kaiju creatures, we will definitely give away copies of the Cortex Prime game handbook for those as well. And with that said, a quick recap. Previously on Eidolon Alpha, the heroes here have learned about an evil entity called Skotos, which is an entity that is like a void. It is something that just wants to kind of make everything into nothing. The group learned about this with the help of a seer at the Wyvern city-state, which they had to escape quite quickly as a potential servant to Skotos, potential other sort of enemy named Damaris from the Chimera City-state came after them looking for the scrolls that Vanessa's character Lysandra had liberated from the Chimera City-state after the library she worked at caught fire. The group managed to kind of make their way on a small boat to a very small island where they thought they might be able to hide and stay safe for a short time while they regrouped and figured out how were they going to get to their destination, which is the fabled, ruined, sunken Temple of the Fates. It wasn't so safe because there were pirates, not on the island, but inside the island, the exact place you would expect to find a pirate ship. There was one. They were pulled out of the island by a giant siren eidolon, and a battle began between the pirates and the three heroes remaining on the island. And because of Lysandra's creative thinking, threatening the ship itself with fire, the pirates surrendered, and the group was able to discuss and negotiate with them, and now they are tepid allies, willing to help the group in their travels towards this fabled home of the Fates. Delphine, you had left the group there on that island, taking the small boat with you because you knew of a place nearby, a small island known as Fiekia. A place that's kind of a distant cousin to the Minotaur city-state, a smaller home, kind of an isle of explorers, a place where people can stop off, get supplies, get their boats fixed, that kind of thing. You know somebody here, somebody who you believe would be very willing to help you, somebody who has access to a boat. Who is this person, and what's your relationship with them?
This person is named Boris, and this is my uncle.
Hey, Uncle Boris. Okay, so you've gotten to the island. You've kind of set up your contact with Uncle Boris, and you've been trying to do this very quietly because you know that at any point this is kind of on this path where somebody might be coming here looking for you, looking for the other 3 members of your group. So you've been kind of doing it a little covertly, and you managed to make an arrangement. Boris tells you to be at kind of the harbor at the middle of the night, and he would meet you there. And so you're there, and he's got this boat set up for you. You can tell that it's his, you know, by the prow. What kind of carving does he have on the prow?
He has a ship company, and it's the branding of the ship company that's on the bow. Boris
Perfect.
Boats.
Boris Boats. Excellent. Yeah, and he has this carving kind of on the front, you know, where there'd be like a mermaid or something, but it's just him.
Yeah.
And it's done in a way that it looks like he's kind of an older guy. He's maybe, you know, gotten a little bit, more filled up around the waist. But in this depiction of himself, he's carved with these deep abs, this like 8-pack, this just flowing beard. He looks beautiful. It's his best self. So you know that this is your boat. You start kind of like taking a look at the different supplies that are on it. And as you're sort of just waiting for him to appear, you get a sense of him. You sense his presence the way that you as a Minotaur Endarch, you have these strong senses. But as you turn, kind of prepared to kind of see him sneaking over to you, you don't see just him. You see Boris, and he's kind of, he has a cloth gag in his mouth. You start to, you hear him kind of like mumbling, but he's not able to get any words out. And behind him walks a familiar face, Damaris, with her orange hair, long kind of lion's mane style. She's got a deep purple cloak on, but the hood is down, and she's just kind of smiling pleasantly. She walks with Boris, who is kind of tied at his wrists. You can see in his eyes that he is kind of saying sorry to you. And she just sort of smiles. Delphine, I was hoping I might find you here. I was hoping we might be able to have a little chat, if we can.
Well, I guess we will need to have a chat.
I think so. So I've got my ship just at the opposite harbor. Would you come with me? Once we arrive, I'll be happy to let Uncle Boris go. And we can discuss from there.
Okay.
And she, so you go with her, kind of follow?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you get a sense as she's walking you through this part of this city that she was prepared probably for you to say no, and you see all these different kind of people as you pass that you just thought were, you know, there's some like fishermen kind of bringing in their boats and doing all these other things. And as she passes, they kind of fall into line behind her, and they kind of take off these disguises that they've had on, and you can tell these are all chimera cultists that are beginning to follow her. And she brings you to her boat, and we cut to on the pirate ship. Tony, it is at this point, it's kind of the middle of the day on your second day of sailing, and you've probably not been the most comfortable here, I would imagine. This is a siren ship.
No,
of
taking every opportunity to glower and just make offhand comments that just point out that this is all the kind of thing that a pirate does. This is typical behavior for sirens. This is the sort of thing we've come to expect from them. Look at this. This probably wasn't theirs originally. They've almost have stolen this. All that kind of stuff. I'm barely keeping it under control, I think.
In response to one of these comments, you just kind of hear as like kind of tool kind of gets thrown down into kind of a box of them, just kind of jangling around, and the captain, who you've now all been, given a first name for. You're on first name basis with Captain Caron, and you couldn't quite tell it was him because he didn't have his hat, he didn't have the coat. He was just very much like dressed like one of his other sailors. But he turns as you make this comment about how everything on here must be stolen. They picked it up somewhere. And he just kind of looks at you, exasperated and a little angry. Perhaps schools himself a little, looking at all of the burn marks surrounding you, the evidence of being bested by your team, then kind of approaches you. I noticed the calluses on your hands.
Yeah, so? You want to go?
Well, yes. But first, before all of that, if we're going to make it all the way to where you want to go to, safely, quickly, and outrun whoever is chasing you, probably need to fix the ship that your people ruined. So do you only work with stone, or can you work with something a little more fine than that?
Look, stone is the epitome, the pinnacle, I should say, of craftsmanship. Anything below that is easier. It's not hard for me to do anything. I can do whatever. You're talking right now about me fixing the ship of yours. Is that what you're saying?
Helping fix the ship that your people ruined. Perhaps give it a try. And he just kind of presses kind of the tool kind of box by the handle at you.
I'll take the tools and give them a look of cursory examination and sort of like just pick one or two of them up, and it doesn't seem like it's all that great. Got anything better than this?
No. Unfortunately, the last person I stole from wasn't a craftsman. They didn't really have the best things around, so...
Typical. Well, I'm going to need to order a couple people around. I hope you're okay with that.
We'll see. And he kind of nods, kind of whistles, calls a couple people over, and he's just kind of standing and watching now. He wants to see exactly if you're any good at this or not.
All right.
So let's do a test for your crafting skill here.
Love to.
Yeah.
Love to make a test.
Excellent. This is going to be a 2d8 test. This is just a kind of standard challenging level. I'm going to go ahead and roll these dice here. What?
Oh, why would you do this to me? First roll.
Well, how am I so blessed in this campaign? This is not normal.
The gods like you, I guess.
Yeah.
Not okay.
Joe and I used up all the bad stuff when we then you took over. You got the
Yeah.
Apparently. All right. Well, Cam, how would you like to approach this here?
I'm obviously starting off with Crafter, which is a role that I have. One of my roles is Crafter. I have a D8 in that, so why not? Makes the most sense. For Attribute, I think I'm just going to be working hard on this, so putting all my vigor into it. Of the distinctions that I've got, I mean, neither Big-Hearted Captain or Stand Fast Against the Shadow make any sense. I'm not going to worry using those. I will use Gorgon's Petrarch, but I think because of my problem with them, I'm using it as a D4.
Okay.
Deliberately sabotaging myself here, Mellie. Hope you're happy.
I love it. But I will also say that you asked for some people to help. So, I mean, the cultists do have traits. So I will go ahead and let you use a D8 from these pirates for their pirate trait because, they do have to fix a ship sometimes. They can't just let it sink.
Letting me have that, given how much I really love them. Man,
well, if you hadn't asked for it, but you did, so.
Strange bedfellows.
Just checking to see a couple things here. I don't have anything. No. And none of my powers are going to really work. Petrifying them won't help me make them work faster. Stone Skin isn't going to really do much for me right now. I could argue that Flight lets me fly above the thing and work on masts and things, but I don't think that's what I'm doing. I'm probably just clearing off pieces of wood, stripping them off and putting more bits of wood on. Mm-hmm. So we'll roll, and we'll see how badly I do this, given my circumstances.
Oh.
Well, I can't beat you. Oh, no.
You can.
No, I can. In fact, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to spend a plot point. Move that D8 effect die over to make it a 21, which gives me a heroic success.
A heroic success.
Put my D4 into that and step it up by 1 because it's going to be heroic. So it won't be very impressive, but I will. Well, okay. I think the actual act of doing this is going to be impressive, but the outcome is pretty mediocre.
Yeah,
I'm going to put on a good show. Very heroic.
Absolutely. So describe to me what this is like, and describe to me what the result is as well, and then I'll describe to you the reaction of Captain Caron.
All right, so I'm very performatively going around telling people what to do, having one or two of these guys help me out. In fact, it was one of their roles, probably their dice, that made it more successful in terms of making myself look good. But I wasn't leading them in terms of yelling orders. I was just trying to lead by example, doing the whole, I'm a big tough guy, I'm a crafter. So I've taken several pieces off the burnt part of the wood, put new wood down in place of them, taken the burnt wood and repurposed that for something else that's not as important. So it all looks great in terms of the activity. It takes maybe, I don't know, a couple of hours. But at the end, if you were to look closely, you'd see that I've moved wood that's really good from somewhere that you should really probably have good, strong wood to somewhere that looks better having it be unburnt. And I've moved the old burnt wood to the place where so I'm just moving it around. I'm not really, this isn't going to help some important part of this is probably going to be a problem, but
All right. But it's enough. Like you see as Caron kind of goes over, and he's not looking at where you've taken the wood from. He doesn't know that at this point. So he's just looking at the areas that he kind of tasked to you and this crew, and kind of running his hands over it. And you can tell from his expression that he's a little surprised that it's not awful. Because you can clearly see that he expected nothing of you, kind of his sworn enemy. He was kind of hoping this would just go really badly. But eventually he just, is kind of knocking around trying to find something wrong with this part of the work. Kind of leans back. It's not bad. I think it'll at least last us.
As you can see over here, you're just going to have to pay a bit more attention to the fine detail that I used in terms of the edging. This is the kind of thing you learn how to do as a stonemason, and you don't really sort of get distracted by this wood. I'm just talking straight to you. That's all I'm talking about. And
he reaches to his belt. You see, the saber there, but he reaches a bit farther back and he pulls out a bottle and shoves it at you. Just stop talking, if you would.
Oh no, it's fine. I never drink on a boat.
This is the best place to drink. You sure?
No, it's moving around.
You can't handle it?
Look, I prefer to drink on solid ground. Thank you very much. I've got some things to do over here. Thank you for admiring my work. I'm glad everything's going to work out. Captain.
Seems weak, if you ask me, but all right. Just kind of waits to see if you'll take the bait, if you'll compete with him.
I will choose at this moment not to do that.
He sort of just leans back.
I'm going to put it in my head.
Tony will remember this.
Tony will remember this.
And he leans back on the railing and just seems to relax, kind of pulling this back, kind of talking with those other a couple crew members that you had helping. And they're kind of talking about where they got the wood from. And you see his face kind of shift and get really frustrated. And he's about to kind of walk towards you again and follow you. And then you both hear drumming again. Oh. But we cut back to a little bit earlier. We cut back to Delphine and Damaris now on her ship. It's a pretty nice ship. This is kind of, you get the sense as you look around. You didn't know much about Damaris before, but based on how she was able to come to the Wyvern City-State with, this big ship full of captains and rowers and easily influence the people in Ophelium, that she's somebody who's important. And looking inside the ship, you can see it everywhere. You see, the draperies, you see the beautiful carved, vanity table in kind of the inner cabin that she brings you into. She's important, certainly. She guides you in gently, though. She kind of brings you in. Once you're inside, she turns back to Boris and kind of nods, and one of the cultists kind of unties the gag, and he immediately just starts going into apologies to you, like, Delphine, I'm so sorry. I couldn't. There's so many of them, and I didn't know what to. I wish I could have warned you.
Uncle Boris, this ain't your fault. Don't worry.
Just be careful.
I will. I'll see
we
you
love
soon.
you. Okay. And they untie his hands and kind of pull him out of the room. I'll be waiting for you. And the door is shut.
I'll see you real soon.
It's just you and Damaris. And she just kind of paces about the room briefly, kind of stops and goes to a wine bottle. She kind of holds it, an offering to you. Would you like a drink?
No, thank you. Not going to be here long.
Well, very confident. I liked that about you, Delphine. It's one of the reasons why I hired you. I was hoping perhaps that you would see the importance of fulfilling your contracts, though, and I guess I was wrong about that. Because I don't have these scrolls that were stolen from me, and, well, I think you're the reason for that.
I mean, it's a dosh darn shame. It is, because I don't have the scrolls either. And,
no.
Speaking
that
of
would make this easy.
Yeah, it would. Speaking of contracts, I have a moral code that I only work for people who are upfront and honest with me. And I have uncovered some truths that they conflict with the version of truths that you gave me. So I believe our contract is null and void because you were not truthful with me about the nature of this mission.
Is that so?
Mm-hmm.
Well, as far as I'm aware, I am one of the representatives of Connemara, the Chimera City-State, and so all of the contents of that library do in fact belong to me, and somebody did take them and remove them from the city, so I don't know exactly how I've lied to you.
You told me that someone burned down that library and stole the scrolls. Number one, she didn't burn it down. Number two, they don't belong to anybody. They can't belong to anybody.
Well, currently, they belong to your friends, which is not ideal. So, I thought that perhaps you would see fit to not complete that contract. I understand that you seem to have some moral reprehension, but instead you can just help us find them. And in exchange, I'm happy to bring you with us to them and give you back.
Give me back what?
Give you back to your friends and your new adventures, your new lease on life, whatever that may be.
Oh, I'm not anyone's possession to be given back to anybody.
And yet currently, you're mine.
Okay, so I see what's going on here. So you have a funny idea of what belongs to a person. So being in this room together doesn't mean that I belong to you, you belong to me, that kind of thing. So let me just ask a question. All right, let's just be upfront for once. What are you planning to do with the scrolls?
Put them where they belong.
Which is where?
Delphine, I don't think you realize that you're really in no position to interrogate or demand here.
I'm not demanding anything. We're just having a conversation, right?
Of course. I think you can just rest assured that things that are not meant to be will cease to be, and things that are will be. The fates are very determinative. There's really no room for will in any of this. So if these scrolls were meant to burn in a library, well, then they should probably burn.
Okay, so you'll so if I work with you, if I cooperate, you'll bring me over to my friends?
Yes, certainly. In exchange, of course, for you using your Minotaur powers to help us locate them.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What else? What is in it for me?
I just told you. Look, I will be fair, and I will, give you an opportunity to convene with your allies and decide how you would like to give us the scrolls. And, as long as that occurs, we're happy to let you all carry on.
Okay. All right, sounds like a great plan to me. Let's go. Let's do it.
Great.
It's
And
alarming.
Hey.
I'm 100% on board.
excellent. Excellent. We cut
Okay.
to scene change. We've got Zeph, Phoebe, Lysandra, the kind of rough sketch of the map that the seer had sort of drawn onto the walls. It's not a exact copy, but it is rough enough that it's sort of what you're all using to try and navigate yourselves to this location. And so this point where we're late afternoon, you've got Actonios has been working on the ship and is still kind of finishing that up, and you three are kind of looking at this and trying to determine if you're there yet. It's just open ocean and it's difficult to tell. Phoebe's kind of looking at this and kind of and flipping it over and trying to get different angles. Like, I feel like, we've passed that island, and I know that if we had gone that, we would have gotten to there by now, so we must be quite close, and I don't see anything, and I don't see any trace of anything, so it's quite possible that this one was just a dream and not a prophecy, and we're all going to die, and that's...
Oh, good.
Yes, I mean, I'm not a navigator, I'm not a cartographer, but that's what I get from the map, is that death is soon.
Do you know what your problem is?
Well, yes. Well, which one?
You're too focused on what you're not. Be focused on what you are. And then I fly up into the air to see if I can see anything.
Sure, yeah. Let's go ahead and let's do a test. See what you can figure out. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna pull. It's gonna be 2d8s again.
Sorry,
Yeah,
I'm
roll
dying
these.
because it feels like Zeph has become Jack Nicholson.
Your problem is.
I'm here to talk to you about Skotos. I don't do a good Jack.
Right. Well, I'm rolling 2d8s, and I didn't roll my magical 16 this time. I just got an 8. So,
Well, I guess that's as good as it gets.
so Joe, you're gonna go and you're gonna try to take a look. And I mean, you potentially have Lysandra is available if there's ways that maybe you two work together. She might be able to lend you an attribute die. But you all tell me how you'd like to approach.
I used to use bait last time.
That's true. Well, I'm going to do my best to do the normal Zeph voice, even though on Tuesday I did a full hour stream completely solo, and my throat hurts because I'm old. Yeah, let's see. So yeah, jumps up there. Maybe he's just yelling back and forth with Lysandra, who is smarter than him, to sort of get a better idea of what he should be looking for.
Okay. And she's read about stuff. She's read maps. She knows stars.
Yep. So my pool is priest, because it's a knowledge thing, which means this will go horribly because it's a very small dice.
I mean, I would also allow you to use scout because this is trying to find something.
Oh yeah.
Because your exploration-y die.
You're much smarter than me.
Not kind of benevolent, GM. It's just the dice that aren't.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you in all walks of life, Mellium. Okay, so I'm going with that. I'm gonna go with Guile. Guile's my intelligence, right? Or no, Guile's my
Craftiness.
Yeah.
Yeah, reason is your
Reason.
intelligence. Yeah.
Yeah.
Reason is real, more careful and methodical brain power, whereas Guile is I'm gonna craft my way out of this.
Got it. Tireless tracker of men goes in here, and flight goes in here, along with whatever asset I'm able to glean from my animal friend.
So yeah, Vanessa, what is your reason die?
My reason die is 10.
Ooh.
I dig that.
All right. I like
Cool.
your chances.
Yeah.
Just help us out more often, obviously, Lysandra.
Right. When it comes to
Wow,
reason
that's
and
like your
brains.
best roll all season, Joe.
I think it might be. I really think it might
Oh.
And that is a heroic success. So that effect die steps up to a D12. This is going to be extremely successul.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm gonna throw to you. So I mean, you've seen these maps, and you're you're calling anything that you see that is even a little bit there's tiny spats of islands. There's kind of some little signs that there might be underwater volcanoes, anything like that. You're just kind of shouting out, providing that to Lysandra, who's at the maps. And with this kind of all this information and all of these things that you're kind of seeing, looking at it from above and almost seeing patterns in things, using that reason to be hey, wait, this kind of looks like something. This also sparks something for Lysandra, something that wasn't quite clicking before, this kind of image. And Lysandra, you pull out the scrolls and you start kind of laying them down and laying them on top of each other, and you start to kind of see a pattern similar to what Zeph is calling down to you, as if that these scrolls are actually a path, as at least in one configuration. And you start to realize that moving them around, so this one gives you this pattern, and you're realizing that, hey, you passed this island, you've passed this, hey, this was where we found those pirates. In addition to that, when you move them, you start to see that there's other patterns, that these scrolls can be arranged in different configurations and give you different information. And in this case, you see that near where you seem to be in the pattern from what Zeph is calling down, that there's this image of a whirlpool that's kind of being formed by pieces of letters. But there's no whirlpool here. And then I'm gonna go ahead and let Joe here. You've created a D12 asset, which I'm just gonna call knowledge of the scrolls, because now you guys have kind of unlocked a secret here.
Cool.
That's a really big die.
It's a really big die. It's a delightfully big die. So you have that, Joe. I'm giving it to you because that was your roll. You can keep it, or you can give it to somebody for free. Later, if you choose to keep it, you can spend a plot point to give it away, or if somebody else has it, they can spend a plot point to give it away. But currently, that is an available asset.
This cast loves to hand around assets. It's my favorite thing about the show.
Yeah. We're sharers.
So yeah, you definitely feel very confident that you guys are in the right place. You just don't see a whirlpool, which this is the one thing missing from this entire pattern. Oh, sorry, my camera.
Oh, I'm the GM now.
Yes.
This was all part of her plan.
Yeah.
And so, where's the whirlpool? Just kidding.
Where's the whirlpool? Well, I have two pieces of news. One, this just started making sense. Two, it says that there might be a whirlpool around here somewhere.
You can't might have a whirlpool. There's either a whirlpool or there's not.
Well, we might have a whirlpool.
Wouldn't a whirlpool be kind of like a bad thing? Like we go into the whirlpool and we die?
Yeah, what she said. I do sound like Jack Nicholson. Ah.
You can't handle a whirlpool.
Do you remember when Jack Nicholson was young and had massive abs?
I'll never forget it.
Are my number one. My Gorgon.
All right. So,
Yeah.
current stats, we might have a whirlpool, and we might die if we get sucked into it. So I need to try and make sense of this and figure out where the whirlpool is so that we can go around it. Or go in it. I love decisions.
Yeah, I can throw it to you, Vanessa, if you'd like to try and figure out a new configuration of these scrolls to try and get some other information. I would offer that to you as a possibility.
I'm gonna do that because this is the closest I've ever come to kind of understanding the scrolls.
Yeah, so previously trying to understand these scrolls was 2d12. Now that you understand that they have to kind of be put into these layered patterns, and the different pieces of them kind of make full things, I'm going to step that down.
Okay.
So it's still hard. It's going to be 2d10, but it's not, hey, this is almost impossible. So let me roll 2d10s for you. I didn't do good.
Okay! Also, I've noticed every time Joe uses Jack Nicholson voice, you don't roll a 16.
Maybe that's what it's been all along.
Yep.
Both times now. We're 2 out of 2.
It's definitely causality and not, coincidence.
Yeah. I also rolled a hit. I don't think anybody has any stress from last time. I think those all got stepped down. So we just have an asset, though. So somebody could spend a plot point. Whoever has that asset could spend a plot point to step up that knowledge of secrets, the scrolls, to a d12 plus a d6. You have 2 dice for that asset. If somebody wants to blow that plot point.
I am not involved in this. The only problem with that, I would say, is that that's the same as creating a plot point asset.
That's true. That's true.
Okay.
Rules,
But-
Daddy.
yeah.
Rules us.
Rules, Daddy. But since it's you're still like stepping up this asset, it just happens to do that. Is that still a viable option for an opportunity, or is it just? I mean, no. You can spend a PP to just do that on your own.
Yeah.
Okay.
If we had another asset that wasn't very big at this point, it would be perfect time.
All right. So instead, we've got an 8. You got to beat an 8, Vanessa. What you got?
Okay, so this is definitely a priest one because I'm trying to read these scrolls. And I'm gonna go with reason because I'm trying to make sense of it. Guardian of letters because I'd like to read the letters. And let's roll. I swear to God. I want to read these scrolls.
Ah!
Nice.
That's gonna do it. Yeah, so that's not a heroic success, but it is a success with a D10 effect dice. That's pretty good. So I will say that you're able to find another configuration of these, and you managed to kind of put it together in a way that you notice that kind of there's these multiple lines of text, and some of them are in like Conamoran, so like in kind of this text that would be for your, endarchs, so this, and then some of it is in different languages. Some other language. You're kind of very, well educated. You've got high reason, you got high priesti, so you're able to pick out different phrases in this and kind of manage to put together sort of the whole picture based on that context. And you realize that this is sort of, a poem that insinuates the fate's location and how the gateway to it opens only on the full moon.
Okay.
And you, having a very high priesti and knowledge, you feel immediately thankful because tonight is a full moon.
Oh gosh.
Good timing.
All right.
Perfect.
Good timing. It's a full moon. We should be good, and I feel amazing. This is the closest I've ever gotten to actually understanding what these say. I feel like I've been looking at them forever, and it's just unlocked so much possibility.
Yay. I just have a quick question. So, does this mean that at nighttime a whirlpool's going to open up and swallow us?
It does. Okay. So that means that. That's exactly what that means. So we should get a mosey on, shouldn't we?
Yes, I guess we could prepare or something.
Look, why are you so concerned about a whirlpool? We're endarchs. I think we can handle something as simple as a little spinny funnel of water that sucks people down.
She opens her mouth like she's about to say something, but she's cut off because a drumming begins. So this is the same moment where Tony and Captain Charon heard it as well, and you kind of all sort of begin looking towards the sound from wherever you are, and you see a fleet of ships approaching from the edge of the horizon towards the south. Basically, you can recognize the one that is kind of at the front of the formation, all of you, as the ship that had been in Ophelium, that had come for you, that is from Connemara. And we kind of cut to on board that ship, where we have Delphine on board. And I'm going to give you a little like kind of flashback moment here, Aliza. If there's anything that you wanted to do while you were on board that ship, that you wanted to prepare, that you wanted to, any subterfuge, anything like that, if there's something you want to do before you arrive here, let's do it right now. So flashback.
Yeah, I had a question too. Damaris and her people knew where my people were already, right? So it's not like I have led them to my people?
So they did not know. They don't have the same kind of like super senses as you do. So yeah, they wanted you to kind of be like, hey, I'm like a beacon.
Oh no, yeah, I didn't want to actually lead them to them.
Then we're rewinding. Let's rewind.
Right.
So you are where are you trying to lead them then?
You have
a sense of where these people are. As you kind of focus your energy, you're able to sort of feel, a general direction. Mm-hmm. So what do you do instead?
So I know this area because I'm from the area, right? Mm-hmm. So I would like to, and I will roll whatever you need me to roll to try to see if we can do this. If there is like a weird, craggy, turbulent area of the shore that ships get caught in, I want to lead them there.
All right, we're going to do a contest with you and Damaris. So you're going to roll first. So your goal is to, convince her that you're telling her the truth and that, you're going to lead them into danger. So go ahead and build a dice pool for me.
Okay. I guess... Okay, if this is about convincing her first, then maybe like priest. Like,
I'm okay
you
with
can
that.
trust me. Guile.
Definitely.
I would say Minotaur's Meadowlark, because this is my home area. And I was gonna say senses, but I don't know if any of my powers apply here. Do we think?
Well, I mean, like I've already established that your senses are kind of helping you figure out where these three people that you're sort of in tune with are. So, I mean, using that to help avoid that, I would be okay with that.
Okay, cool. I have straight 8s.
8, 8, 8, 8.
Come on, 8s.
Roll. Good.
Ooh.
Okay. There's not a lot of hitches happening today. Like, this is going really well.
That's a good roll.
Whew, okay.
Really good
No
roll.
hitches.
Okay.
Oof.
I mean, leading up with that in a contest, that's pretty good.
That's very good. All right, so Damaris is gonna, contest with that. So, I also would like to do a quick shout out to Brebo Sheldon. That is the safety tool that we use is script change. We just did a rewind. So I just wanted to shout that out. We got a link in the chat. All right, so Damaris, she has base dice, 2d8. Bleh. And this will be her priest versus yours, with kind of this kind of battle of the mind. And she's trying to determine, if you can be trusted or not. So she's gonna go ahead, and this is gonna be her. This is gonna be her reason. I'm trying to sort that out. It's an 8, and this is now the confirmation of this. She is carrying Skotos, and she is one of the Skotos leaders. So these people have another die. They have a D8 Skotos, and it is a scale die. So this is going to give her a 3rd die to keep in her total. So I'm gonna roll. He's got 2 8s. 2 8, a 10, and a 2 8. So, but I could roll really bad. Let's find out. We did see that happen with Vanessa with the. Oh, okay.
Or you could not roll bad at all.
I could roll pretty good. I could roll very good. So, 22 is where we're at. And so I throw it back to you, is that you can try to roll again, try to do better than her, as she's starting to suss out the edges of this, or you can give in, you'll get a plot point, but she's going to get what she wants here.
So if she gets what she wants, I lead her to the peoples?
You basically reveal that you've been lying, and then we go from there. So she will 100% determine the lie. If you just lose the contest, you'll get stressed. You'll get some stress, but that doesn't mean that she's gotten what she wants.
Okay. All right. Okay.
So, do you want to go for it, or do you want to give in?
Oh, goodness. I don't know if I can roll better than that. 22.
You would have to spend a plot point.
You've got plot points, right, Aliza?
Yeah, I've lost... Let me see if I made a note. I've had, plot points for a while, just hanging out, but I don't know how many I have.
I think, if I recall correctly, you've got 3, because you haven't...
Yes.
Yeah, that sounds right. I would have said no more than 3.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so let me just think. Do I want to keep going with this?
Yeah, so currently her reaction to your information is just kind of like a... You're sure about that?
You know what? Let's see what happens. I'm gonna try to roll again.
Yes.
Whatever. Let's see what happens.
Do it.
Okay.
At the very least, you can try and close that gap so she doesn't get a heroic success and does worse against you.
Okay. Wait, what happens if she gets a heroic success?
Well,
it will step up the effect die of the stress that I'll give you. So currently, if I got a heroic success or a villainous success, whatever you want to call it, I would have a D10 effect die, and I would apply that to one of your attributes, which would not be very nice.
Okay. Let me just look. Any other SFX or anything?
I think your aspects as a Minotaur, you have the kind of bronze skin to defend against natural weapons. Which currently, this is just a battle.
Oh, okay. I don't know if this is legit, because I didn't tell you this before our session. But you know how you said we could basically
the growth?
Yeah, what I wanted to choose was to add my second SFX, which is spend a PP to find your way out of any building, trap, or maze.
Okay.
So, can I... This is a trap.
I mean, if you want to try to just, yeet yourself out of here, I feel like that is... this is definitely... yes. I maybe I will I'll look to Cam, because I feel like that is meant to be a physical thing.
Yeah.
But if
I mean, I like the lateral thinking that's being on display here from Aliza, who is one of our most lateral thinking individuals.
Yeah. I'm not against it, honestly.
I would be. It's up to you. My only contribution to this is, why don't you roll and find out, and then yeet yourself out if you don't do well, because it doesn't say when you have to do it.
It's true, yes, because it's to spend a PP to get yourself out of the situation. So
Okay.
Go ahead and build your roll, and we can discuss the lateral or literal.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna do the same roll because I don't think I can do
So 4 8s, bunch of 8s.
much better than this. But can I spend a PP to step something up? Is that a thing?
You can't spend a PP to step something up, but you could spend one to add a second die from a trait set that you've already used. So, like, there is another attribute or another role that you can also explain how it applies. You could spend a plot point to also add that die.
Okay. From is this just from distinctions?
Yeah, any of your trait
scout.
sets. So if there was like, if one of your distinctions was like, oh, this also applies here, or if one of your roles also applies, you can sell it and spend a plot point to add it.
Okay. I'd like to do that, and I'm gonna say, let's see. Is it... I think just courage, like to keep going with this bald-faced
I like
lie and possibly wreck a whole ship of this person. Oh, it just
All
changed
right.
it. Okay.
Yeah, you think you just like use the additional dice thing at the top to just drag another die into your pool. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, spend a plot point. You can add courage and give it a roll.
All right, here we go. 5 8s. No ones. Ugh.
That is-
He.
Oh boy.
Stinky. Stinky.
Oh
no-
wow, that is a
That is-
double. I saw in the chat Melliness success.
Mm.
Yeah, that's gonna give me up to a D12. I can
Okay.
give you, which is, oh boy. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply that. Let's see where this is gonna be applied to your courage. Give me D12 courage stress because you're telling this lie. I mean, she's not 100% sure that you're lying yet, but she doesn't trust you. And so she doesn't just take the word, and she just she steps up to you. She's smaller than you are because she's, a much more kind of a lithe, roguish sort of character. You're very much a powerful figure, but she does not bat a single eye. And instead she kind of looks up at you very cautiously and then sort of makes a motion, and somebody kind of dips into the inner cabins and brings out this very ornate looking box and brings it to her, and somebody else kind of goes around to the other side, going into a deeper room, and comes back kind of pushing forward a small figure with this sack over their head, and their hands tied behind their backs, kind of being jostled forward. And she just kind of, with one hand, she just opens the box, pulls out a blade. It's a knife. It looks quite old and looks made of a material that is darker than obsidian. Like, it is just this almost void-like material. It doesn't catch any of the light from the day. She just draws it out slowly, kind of looking it over as they bring this small figure up. Now, I don't want to accuse you of lying to me, Delphine. That just seems very rude and uncalled for. But I just want to remind you that you do belong to me right now. And I just want to make sure that you understand that it's very important that you bring me to your friends. And she kind of motions, and somebody kind of pulls this bag up over the head of this small figure. And you see, Joe, can you describe Zeph's brother to me?
Oh, you suck so bad.
No! The Melliness.
Oh,
Oh my god!
Oh.
That is just.
Ooh. He he looks a lot like Zeph. Obviously, like the gray isn't there. The abs are all there. I'm kidding. He
Abs all the way out.
but he's very, like, looking at him, you would be like, oh, that's that guy's like kid brother. That makes sense. there's nothing like wild about him. He's just, I mean, at least as far as I know, you monster, he's just a person. Like he's not an endarch or anything like that, or at least he wouldn't have received his call yet. I suppose. But yeah, he's just like a normal, sweet-looking. Look back to Zeth before he had to become so grim and dark.
And how old is he again?
He's 10.
He's a 10-year-old boy. He looks skinny, kind of underfed, gaunt, and he just is kind of shaking. He kind of looks up at you, and you recognize this striking resemblance. And Damaris immediately comments on it. Just genetics. Just looks so similar. You can just imagine what he could become one day. Look, Delphine, you wouldn't want to keep two brothers apart, would you?
You suck.
I'm all about family reunions, so yeah, let's get going. Let's head over there.
Right. So what were those directions again? And do you give her kind of the proper heading?
Yeah. Yes, but I'm not done.
Alrighty.
Not done yet.
And so we kind of go into like the eye of this young boy and then out into the eye of Zeph as we have this drumming and these boats approaching. Delphine, you're on the deck. You have Damaris on the deck as the rowers kind of row. And they throw up a flag that the captain, Charon, on the other ship just kind of turns to you, Actonios, because you're closest. Parlay. Do we accept?
What's that flag look like?
It's a flag that, sailors would put up for parlay. I didn't Google it right. So.
Oh, I'm not asking for historical accuracy.
Okay, good. Then let's just say in this world, it's going to be a symbol of like all of the eidolons in a circle. Like it's a universal, hey, we come in peace currently sign.
We're under attack. I sit back down to the deck and I'm like, they're under attack. We're under attack. They're threatening to send multiple eidolons at us at once.
Oh dear.
I don't think that's what that means.
No, pretty boy, it's a parlay. Do we accept it is the question, or do we fight?
Sorry, I'm not a nautical scientist.
He pulls out a spyglass and just kind of holds it up. He holds it weird because he's a weird dude, and just very natural and normal. And just seeing what he sees, he kind of flips it and he kind of like looks up. He almost hands it to you, Tony, just because you're right there. But then he kind of like gets a little grossed out and he hands it over to Lysandra instead. So you can take a look, and Lysandra, you can see. Damaris, you seeing her, you do recognize her as kind of a significant member of Connemara's like council of leaders. And you also see standing next to her, Delphine.
All right, more updates. Delphine's on that ship that's offering us a parlay. So we've got way more of a situation on our hands than we think we do.
I knew we couldn't trust her. I don't
know about that.
I still do, though.
I don't know why I trusted any of you. She's clearly working for the enemy. You stole books. And you just showed up and started being friendly with all of us. That's not natural. You are not a natural person, Tony. No one's that nice.
I've heard often that parlay is just a guideline, right? We don't have to be continually nice once we start talking.
Yeah.
But you know what? I think I have a good handle on this. I get along with the chimeras, I believe, as I check my book again.
Yes, you do. Yeah, your
One of the
chimera
allies.
and wyverns.
Yeah.
I believe.
what I think-
Actually, now I'm feeling like I might be wrong.
What I think I'll do is I'll walk up maybe to stand up on one of those crates and stand and just sort of like.
Excellent.
Actually, I can fly, so I could just start sprouting wings out if I felt like it.
Yeah.
Zeph, if you don't trust any of this, trust at least this much. I'm gonna fly over there and see what's going on, and if anything happens to me, you take care of all these fun people, right?
All these fun people that you've loudly declared you do not trust.
Sure.
Okay, so Tony, you soar over, and at this point, Aliza, so we've transitioned scenes, so your stress is going to step down once. So you now have a D10 stress remaining, and you get to this ship, Tony, and you know people are prepared for this maybe to not go right, but everybody's standing back, giving space to kind of the front of this ship where the red-haired Damaris stands next to Delphine, and she smiles as you approach. Hello, Gorgon's Petrarch. So wonderful to finally meet you.
Lady of Connemara. That's by the way, soar is kind of like a bit of a misnomer. When the Gorgons fly, they don't have the most graceful flight. I mean, it's like a big pig with it's a pig flying, right? That's what it is.
Like the wings aren't big enough, so it's just kind of like
it's just like.
This is adorable, and I love it. Thank you.
But I do drop down onto the deck of this ship, and just sort of like the wings are still there though. I don't want to put them away yet because I think I'm worried that something might happen. May I introduce myself? I am Etonius of Eidolon, and I am a colleague of your friend here.
So I'm Damaris of Connemara, and all I seek, I don't know why it's been so difficult, but I merely seek scrolls that were taken out of the bounds of our city. I'm happy to leave you all to your day, whatever it may contain, if you provide those. I think we can all agree that sounds quite fair.
Oh, we have lots of scrolls on this ship. It's a pirate ship. They've got all kinds of nautical maps. I've seen some charts. There's a really racy sort of set of scrolls of poetry. It's what it is. I don't know necessarily if we can help you with anything specific. I don't know what you would want to have with lurid poetry of the seas. Could you tell me a little bit more about these scrolls? Maybe we could help. I mean, willing to talk about it.
Well, I highly doubt that a brute of pirates would be able to read these ones, so perhaps look for those, or merely look for your friend from my city. I would be happy to speak with her as well if you'd care to bring her over. We could send a boat.
Oh, you're talking about Lysandra?
Yes.
Well, we lost track of her some time ago. I don't know what you're talking about, really. The only person I'm aware of is that Griffin over there. You can see him chatting up, looking grumpy at everybody else. And Phoebe, of course, the lovely Phoebe. She came with us from, the Wyvern City. Lysandra, she's quite squirrely. She gets away. It's just half the time she's a lizard, another half the time she's a bird. So, yeah, but your best guess is better than mine for this one.
Let's go ahead and do a contest.
Yeah.
See if you can it's my cat.
I'll
See
have
if
you know.
can succeed at
I was just like, oh shit, she's ready to do a kaiju.
So go ahead and build a dice pool for me as you're trying to convince her.
Can you tell me, Mellie, do I sense
Yes.
any of that Skotos in her?
What
Or
you
she's
sense
hiding
from her,
it,
you see kind of these, bracers on her wrists, and just kind of everything about her screams endarch,
Yeah.
but you don't sense endarch.
All right.
You sense like a nothing from her, the same as you would sense from a person, but that seems strange compared
Yeah.
to what you see.
Okay.
Would I know if she is an endarch?
Whoop. Oh my gosh, Butterfingers today. Sorry, Will, our producer. You would not be able to sense that she is Skotos. You can sense that it's a nothing. Like, you can sense normal people as well because of your powers, but you don't sense anything from her, which is why she's able to sneak up on you at the docks.
Yeah,
Okay.
Okay. Well, I'm just wondering whether that's going to count for me using stand fast against the shadow or not.
Absolutely.
Oh, will it? Okay, cool. Well, I'll throw that in there. Do-do-do. I am trying to convince her using priest, because that's the thing that we do when we do convincing things. And guile. So I'm just doing so well. I've got a 6 for priest and a 6 for guile. I'm fantastic.
You sent their best negotiator.
I am. By the way, the answer to that question is Tony, the best negotiator. Forget about
and
it.
I mean, Delphine is here on deck here. Potentially could help in some way.
Oh yeah, I'd love to help.
How could you help me? Which attribute could you help me with?
Well, and also, how would I help? Would it be
Yeah. How would you?
okay? Well,
How do you wanna
narratively, I definitely want to be giving some type of like signal with my eyes and my expression, like, I don't know. Yeah. Well, I guess I definitely want you all to know that the brother is here. And definitely like go with your instincts. She is up to no good with these scrolls. She cannot get her hands on them under any circumstances, none at all.
So I would say that could be guile, or it could be grace as well.
Okay, and would I roll, or what
You'd be giving Cam your attribute die for that.
Oh,
So whatever one of those you'd like to use, because I feel like guile, trying to kind of communicate this information in a deceptive way, but also grace because you could kind of move it into your kind of physical movements and make it seem very not purposeful to somebody who's not.
I just realized I don't think Zep's ever told anybody about his brother or the reason why he's out here. So for you guys, it's just like, oh man, Zep's gonna be pissed when they find out that
their brother's here. Like, wow.
It's like, what? Some kid? Who knows who that is?
Yeah, Lysandra would have a sense because of the fear that she gave to you.
That's
Zeph.
true.
Mhm.
And the argument that we had.
Yeah.
Yes.
And in hindsight, some face and some family blindness for not.
You've also
implementing-
said a lot, like, where is he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just care about him. So they're like, there's some guy in your life.
Yeah.
So is that guile or grace, Lisa?
I would say guile. Is your guile lower than an 8?
And my guile's a 6. I've got a D6.
Oh.
guile.
Then
Go
take
for
my
it.
guile.
I
My
love some
guile's
guile
8.
help. Yeah, all right.
So you get to throw an extra 8 in there, Cam.
That's great. I'm going to totally lose this contest because she's got it.
She's
Go.
scale, yeah.
But let's see how funny it is that I don't do successfully with this. Bum, ba-dum, ba-dum, bum, bum. I got a 13.
Oh, okay. All right, I will buy that hitch from you. So I'll give you a plot point for that hitch. So it's gonna be a D6. D6 of something that is interesting.
What's complicating this? That's
What is complicating the situation? What do you use? You stand fast against the shadows, priest, and guile. So I think you're stand fast against the shadow. We're gonna play with that distinction for this hitch. Because you kind of start to get this sense as you're focusing on her, you're like gonna stand up to her, you're lying straight to her face, and you don't really realize it's like all these people around, all these rowers that are on this boat, all these kind of the captain that you saw in Ophelium who recognizes you from there. There's kind of this darkness that is threading through all of them. So I'm gonna just say like surrounding darkness.
Okay, that's cool.
So I'm gonna add that to my dice pool first. I got that complication.
Yeah, because
And then
why don't you just keep adding stuff?
just have another die. It sounds good. So I got the 2d8s. I got an 8 for Skotos. I've got, this is her reason once again. She's just trying to suss out if y'all are telling the truth or not. And her priest die, which is a 10. So I got just a whole pile of things. I could just roll a bunch of hitches. Let's see what I get. I did roll a bunch of hitches.
Oh!
And you didn't beat me.
Didn't beat you.
Didn't beat me.
Your
But
reign
I
of terror
do-
is over.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. I do have some plot points.
Yes, you do.
And I do feel like this is one of those situations that it is, this standoff of this contest is worth spending on. So first of
also
all, I
get
do
to-
have,
You've got one die you keep for.
oh
for
yes,
free.
right. Oh yes, I keep that one for free. I don't even have to, I beat it. I don't have to spend a plot point. 14's enough, that's fine. All right, never mind, ignore that. I won't spend anything. I got a 14, but I did get 2 hitches. Cam, would you like
Yeah.
to purchase that and get rid of that complication?
I would. Surrounded by darkness. Ha!
Yeah, you at least have enough in you that like, okay, now I've noticed them.
Yeah.
But you stood against Skotos multiple times and come out okay.
Yeah, I have. Now I just have to get 14 or higher on my next roll, huh?
Just have to pull 15 or higher.
Oh, it says 14.
Gotta beat it to yeet it.
Well, yeah, I gotta get a 15. I gotta beat 14. Sorry.
Yeah.
All right, let's try this again. Do. Got to get that D8. Thank you very much, Delphine. Stand against the shadow. And yeah. I'm all out of plot points now, I think. So this should be hilarious.
Or well, because you gained one and then spent it, but I think you had one before that. So I think you have 1 plot point.
Boy.
Oh, that's not going to do it.
No.
That's okay. Hey, she's gonna give you some stress. So
Sounds
I'm gonna
good.
go ahead and give you a D8 of. This is also gonna be courage stress.
Courage stress.
And I will buy that hitch also.
All right.
And I'll step it up.
Dum.
Boom. Boom. You got a D10 courage stress. As even though she's this kind of just slight small woman, she's full of smiles. She is unflappable in the face of these lies, and she just kind of chuckles to herself. Delphine, I think that you might need to take a little time with your friends in order for them to realize the risks that they're taking by not providing me with those scrolls. Ectonios, if you would like to take Delphine back with you, that is fine by me for now. And how about I give it you until sundown?
See,
And
this seems
then
like
I will
a
accept
great-
your decision.
I feel like I kind of won here because I'm getting Delphine back and take you off the ship. Everything should be kosher after this. No worries. Let's take you. So yeah, Antonio like Antonius will be like, oh yeah, well, very reasonable, my lady. I'll just take Delphine back to the ship and we'll have a bit of a confab and see what we can come up with.
Excellent. Go ahead and raise the white flag if you agree to our terms, and otherwise
I am a little
we tack-
shaken though, right? I've got that's the
Yes,
thing. With
you're a little shaken. Yeah.
I will carry you back to the ship, Aliza, and also that's not a fun flight because of the.
And we cut back onto the ship. So we got all of you 4 together. You now know sort of an idea of what's going on. You got Captain Caron is sort of kind of, interested in what y'all are talking about. Phoebe, Delphine, how would you like to come back?
How do I like to come back? What do you mean?
Yeah, like when you get back here, you got information. You've also been kind of missing on some information. So you're now back on the ship with everybody.
Okay.
What do you want to do?
Yeah. All right. So first of all, I'm so sorry I brought her here. I tried to trick her, but she is hard to get anything past.
Ruthless.
I had no choice but to bring her back. But get this, Zeph, she has what is probably a little person who's related to you because he looks just like you.
Okay, I
And
just
she's holding
fly.
captive.
I just fly towards the fleet.
Oh crap! Where is he going? No, can I try to grab his? Do you have a tail? Can I
Let's
try to
do a
grab his tail?
contest. He has a giant cape that we've talked about a lot that has just
Cape,
really
alright.
not been well for him.
He has the.
I'm gonna try to grab the cape.
You can absolutely try to grab the cape.
I will.
Not
scream
all
at
heroes
this
wear
horse.
capes.
Outstanding. And you currently have a D. Well, I guess this is now a new scene as we get back here. So Tony, you
So
can step down
8.
your courage to D8. You've got a now that yours would be to a D8. Delphine, you've got a D8 stress on your courage. And what's your total courage, Delphine?
My courage is 8.
Okay, so you're good. You get to keep all your dice.
Okay.
But you're gonna set up this contest. You are trying to. Well, I guess actually Zeph, you'd be setting up this contest because you're trying to leave, and Delphine's saying she'll stop you. So, Joe, build a dice pool.
Okay. I just had a thought of how I might want to do this differently, but I don't want to cost us a contest. So let's contest. Contest. So this is warrior. Because this is just pure brute rage. It's also going to be his grace because he's going. I think it's definitely tireless tracker of men because suddenly he's so close. And I mean they're both the same, but technically he's flying, so I'll use flight. And then what else do I have here? I've just got knowledge of the scrolls. I don't think that's going to count.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but I do have. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Mellie. I can't remember. Do I have? No, I don't. That's no longer an asset. That was a one-time asset.
It's a thing you have. You could spend a plot point and make it a D6 asset if you wanted to. But it is currently just a thing that you have.
Spending it.
Do it. So now you've got this asset. It's temporary asset. So I mean, if you know there's hitches or opportunities to activate, you'll be able to step it up potentially. But right now you're saying this is important. This scene.
Got it.
Boom.
Bang.
We're good. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Dice are with me.
Delphine.
The dice are with Jack.
You are trying to stop Zeph from just flying off.
Yeah.
How would you like to build your dice pool?
I'm just gonna go with brute strength right now. Just the strength to pull him back down and ground him.
Yeah.
So warrior, vigor. I never used strong-armed hammer. Let's just do that. Strong-armed hammer.
Yeah, you got strong arms.
Yeah. And strength.
Yeah.
I like it.
Got that gorilla strength. It's really
nice
awesome.
die pool.
Yeah.
Like, man.
Okay. Can I ground this?
Ooh. 15 with a D10.
Wait, what was Joe's
He had a
roll?
13. So currently you're winning. So, Joe, you can give in and you will lose, but you get to define the terms and you'll get a plot point, or you can try to keep going and try to get higher than 15.
Okay. I'm gonna put those words to the test right now, Mellie. Zeph's going to lose.
Mm-hmm.
The terms.
So really quickly before you start, so because if you give in, so you're giving her which one she will get to stop you.
Mhm.
You'll get to define the terms under which she stops you.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I keep going then. Never
Can't
mind.
sneak a win in after giving in, right?
Yeah.
Oh, fine.
Yeah, so basically, like you want to leave. She wants to keep you here. If somebody gives in, they're gonna let the other person do that within the terms that they choose if they give in.
Okay, got it. I'm gonna keep going.
Yeah, do it. You gotta get higher than 50. You gotta 16 or higher is what you need to get.
Okay, I can do that. Okay, so this is now she's like strong on him. Now he's getting wriggly and trying to do his flippy acrobatic stuff to get away. So that's going to be Scout and Grace. Well, no, that'll be Feet and Grace.
I like that.
And they're both the same score, but just to change things back up, I'm going with Swear to Me again. No, I'm not, because that's more about persuading someone. So Tyler Stracker recommend still. And then Flight. Let's see what happens. Son of a...
Do you have any plot points?
No, I spent it on my token.
All right, so
unless we get one at the beginning of the session.
So yeah, so when you get one if you had 0. You would have just had the one. So when you lose a contest through rolls, the other person, it's not like she got what she wanted. She gets to stress you out, which makes it easier to stop you next time. So Aliza, you had a D10 effect die. Which attribute would you like to put that onto?
I just want to make him less impulsive.
So you want to step up? You want to step up his reason? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Or I feel like you could maybe
step
that courage.
Down. Step down whatever is making him just like fly off without hearing the rest and making a plan with us.
Okay.
So yeah, if that's courage, then.
So yeah, you get a D10 stress in your courage.
What's your courage normally, Seth?
My D10, my courage is normally an 8.
Right. So you are shaken.
Shaken. Yeah.
When you're shaken, you only get to keep 1 die as a default from your rolls. So Aliza, explain to me. So you don't succeed in kind of grabbing him, but all 3 of you on this deck, especially Tony and Delphine, like you both kind of seen what's over there, and now I feel like maybe that's kind of our angle here of getting this courage stress onto there is, how do you communicate to him that this is maybe more dangerous than he thinks?
Mm-hmm. So as he kind of like slips out of my fingers, I say, we'll get him back. We just can't go over there or we'll get walloped for sure. We need a plan.
So Joe, you can still go over there if you want. You've not lost. You didn't lose. You didn't give in. So you.
Yeah, what it means is that Joe can say, I'm either gonna take the stress and change my mind now, right?
Okay.
Which you can do freely because we're not in a contest anymore. You're in role playing.
Yeah.
Or you could say, no, I think I do want to keep leaving it. At which point, Aliza could try again to stop you and keep doing this until you either give in or don't.
Okay.
Or she may back off, right?
Okay. On one hand, I don't like being the role player at the table that's like, I'm going to do what I want. Meh. Right now, he's literally just like on his back, just like almost like a cat that's like, like she just used her brute strength, kind of went wallop, and he's just kind of froze and just like staring daggers at her. Sorry guys, this is literally the crux of the character.
In Cortex, you can split the party. It works.
And Zeph says, we might get walloped. He won't. And then his eyes go full eagle, and I summon the griffin.
Oh my god!
You know what? All right.
Yes.
Okay, so first First of all, we're gonna give away a Cortex Prime game handbook in the chat because we're summoning this griffin.
Yeah, there's no contest you can do to do that. Oh, that's good.
I mean, I want
Alright.
to join. I want to join him now and summon mine.
Well, we're gonna jump into an action order now. This is
Yeah, let's do this.
as
If that's
so
what we're gonna do, then we're gonna do it.
describe to me how this forms. So we saw last time the siren forming, the gorgon forming. It forms kind of out of the nature around you. So go ahead and just tell us how this giant kaiju creature shows up.
It's daytime, right?
It is, the sun is setting. So yeah, it is getting.
Okay.
You're probably not far from sundown at this point.
The sky goes from dusk to black as the sun is almost eclipsed out by the silhouetted form that at first is just sort of like a sort of a blobby figure, and then as everyone's eyes adjust, wings spread down from it. It swoops down low. It does this like pass over our ship and the fleet, because it wasn't just like summoned, it was summoned like angrily, and as it passes there's just like a crack through the sky and through everyone's ears as the sound barrier breaks. You only get to roleplay a demigod so often, right? So like waves start to crash, and the seas start to get really unsteady, and Mellie, I won't completely take over control of what everything looks like from you, but possibly the ships in the fleet are starting to maybe fall out of formation from the waves.
Yeah.
As this skybound kaiju disappears from view, somewhere off camera flies up through the clouds and then just like comes through and just like a full Bahamut Zero summon in Final Fantasy, just slowly like wings just
Yep.
through the cloud cover and just its wings just spread, casting this huge shadow over the fleet, and just like lets out this huge lion's roar from its beak.
Yeah. Awesome. I love it. Amazing. So this is going to be the first turn of the action order. Is you use your turn, you summon the griffin, so that'll appear in the next round. We're going to go into action order here. So we've got all of y'all. We've got Damaris, and we have like the all of these ships that she has at her command is going to be one mob. And on your ship you've got like these siren cultists, and you've got Charon, and you've got Phoebe. They're a part of this action order, but they can help you. They can like contribute a die to your pool on your turn if they're helping you. So they're kind of your allies potentially. I mean, maybe they don't want to help you. It depends on how you ask. But Joe, that was your turn. Who would you like to go after you?
I think I don't know. What do you guys think? On one hand, well, no. I at first I was like the fleet, but I think I would assume they're freaking out a little bit and trying to figure out what to do. So
Something to keep in mind is whoever goes last in the order picks who goes first for the second round, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which means that if Aliza goes last in this round and summons her Eidolon, the Minotaur, then she starts the next round, and the Minotaur gets to act like almost immediately, right? Which is, otherwise we have to wait until next turn for her Minotaur to do something. Like we have to wait for you next turn for the Griffin to act,
right.
And I think it would be really cool if it was like bang bang Minotaur Griffin acting, as opposed to waiting for them both to kind of show up. That's my theory. That way we can at least.
No, I like that for the mechanics reason. I think for the in character reason, she was busy like holding him down, so she's kind of like so I'm gonna give it to Sandra.
Awesome, Lysandra. So you've just been given some information about bad stuff on that ship. Potentially, it seems like, Zeph has his brother on that ship, and now this griffin is being summoned. It's like forming itself. The boat is shaking. It is close to sundown, and a whirlpool might open up when the sun goes down, potentially.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want to do right now?
I will have mentioned, by the way, that in my conversation with Damaris, I had said that you weren't with us, but I don't know if she believed me.
That's true.
Don't let that stop you, though. Do whatever the heck you want, because I think right now, I doubt she thinks that's true.
Yeah. Can I turn into a big whale and ram her ship?
I don't think you can turn into things that are much bigger than yourself.
Dang it.
With your shape-shifting.
And also, I don't think she's ever seen a whale, so it might be something horrifying instead.
There's definitely, because Leviathan is one of the Eidolons, which
Leviathan's
is like a whale. Yeah, and it's actually an ally of the Chimera. So she's only seen some very big whales.
Can she turn into a human-sized whale?
Yeah, she could
Not
be like
aggressive.
Sure.
A dolphin.
Like a dolphin.
Like a dolphin,
or
yeah.
Or a
porpoise.
shark or something.
You'll
I would allow
find
that.
you'll have a special porpoise.
I will have a special porpoise, so maybe I could turn into a dolphin and do some reconnaissance.
Yeah, so you could use that as a turn where you're creating an asset for somebody else.
Yep.
Yeah, that's groovy.
I dig it. Let's build a pool.
yeah.
So this is going to be, I guess, yeah. I mean, it's still action order, so you're still going to roll first, but it'll be a test against, a regular challenge pool, like it's a test.
Okay.
So go ahead and build a dice pool for how you want to approach your porpoise reconnaissance mission.
Yeah. We're having so much dull fun. Let's see. Porpoise reconnaissance. So I'm gonna go with scout because that's inherently part of reconnaissance. Courage because it takes courage to be a dolphin. And then I'm gonna go with Chimera's Mutark and shape-shifting. Actually, I'm scared of dolphins. They're jerks. All right. Let's go with this roll.
Okay.
Why?
10. I mean, 10's not bad. And can you just let me know, like, what is your, are you trying to get info on these other ships? Are you trying to get info on, this area with the fates and everything? Like, what is it you're looking for with your porpoising?
So, what I'm trying to get
what's
info
the
on...
What's your porpoise?
What is the purpose of my mission? What I want to know is that really Zeph's little brother, and is there a way to get him off the ship onto ours?
Okay. So maybe also, you're getting yourself kind of over there trying to get a good look at things.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna, let's see. I think that because you've got this Chimera's Mutark, and Damaris was once a Chimera endarch. She's since gone over to the Skotos side.
Yeah.
But you start to kind of piece together, especially as you kind of get closer and you're taking a look at all these cultists and everything, that, there's still something there, and that it might even be why, when you were trying to communicate with the Chimera in the last episode, why there was like this break, this dissonance. Something has been kind of ruined because of her, because of the fact that she has sort of switched sides here. And so this hitch is just going to be that your Chimera powers are a little messed up, but she's kind of jamming your signal. So this is gonna be a
I'm a half
D6.
human, half dolphin. I'm a dolphin on the top and a human on the bottom.
Oh.
So I'm just like kicking.
Yeah, D6. But yeah, this is gonna be
Hottest
D6.
possible mermaid.
Hell yeah.
So good. But yeah, so this is just a D6 Chimera miscommunication. And I'm going to go ahead and roll against you here, which is just, this isn't too difficult. You're just kind of trying to, get some info. So this is going to be 2d8s. I'm just gonna roll those. It's gonna go boom, boom, boom. I only got a 6, so that is definitely not gonna do it. You can, if you would like to. So first of all, I gave you a plot point for your roll for activating that hitch. So you could spend a plot point to buy that hitch. You'll get to step down that complication to a D4 if you want to.
I'm gonna spend that plot point.
All right. So your complication's down to a D4 Chimera miscommunication, and you had a D8 effect dice. You're going to create a D8 asset here for the information that you're going to be getting. So what would you like to call that? What kind of benefit specifically do you want to gain from this?
I'm gonna call that benefit so much dull fun, and what you can gain from it is if you are on the ship and you need to either get someone off of it or an escape route, you have me from either ship. So I'm basically a taxi. I'm a half dolphin, half
water
human
taxi.
Water taxi.
Great. So yeah, and you see, like, as you're kind of, circling the ship and getting an idea, like, you kind of go around the backside and you do see that they're like bringing this small figure with this bag on their head up onto the deck. So you see them now, so you know, hey, this is right here. And would you like to give that asset to somebody specifically, or are you going to hang on to it for now and spend a plot point to give it out later?
I'm gonna give it to Zeph, actually.
Excellent.
Since Zeph is huge and might want someone else to take care of any transportation issues.
Excellent. Okay, so that was you, Lysandra. Who would you like to go next? We got Delphine, Ectonios, the Mob, or Damaris?
I'm gonna go the Mob.
All right, the Mob. Yeah. So this is all of these ships. They're kind of like shaking in the water as this, griffin is still forming here. And they are going to kind of, they're readying everything to start to go to battle because this negotiation clearly did not work out. So they begin to charge forward. They're closing this distance in between the two ships here. And it takes some time. So this turn is actually a longer period of time as this is all forming and you're doing your reconnaissance. Like, this is all taking place in the same span of a longer bit of time. And as they kind of get closer, two of them kind of peel off to the sides. And you can see these blazing fires on board of this actually like blue flame. And they begin to kind of light bows and arrows, rather, not the bows. That would be very bad. And they are going to fire fiery arrows at the ship. And so I'm going to, Cam, give me some guidance here. Should I target one of y'all, or should I, target the ship in some way with this roll? What do you think?
If you want to maybe give the ship some sort of arbitrary traits, and then if it's smashed up, then that's problematic for the captain.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and give it some stuff. I'm gonna So we're gonna do this. Let's see. I got these Chimera cultists. They got 8. They've got this is a mob that is 3d8s. And they've got Greek fire as a D10 and archery D6.
It also keeps you from having to worry about scale dice.
Yeah. So that's going to be 13. If anybody who is on the pirate ship and has a plot point to spend and would like to buy that hitch to take an opportunity with these flaming arrows, I would give them the opportunity. You could also step down stress with that.
Do I still have stress? I think I do.
You have a D8 remaining of courage stress. And
I would like to buy that. Well, I don't have any plot points, so I will not buy that.
I think, Delphine, you have plot points, though.
Yeah, I have 2 plot points, and I'd like to buy this.
Yes. Excellent. Are you stepping down stress?
No. Can I use it? I can create an opportunity?
So yes, you can step down stress, step down a complication, or step up an asset.
Oh, okay. I thought it was something else. Okay.
Yeah, but you still have I believe D8 courage stress.
Mm-hmm. And what are the implications of that?
So, first of all, you're not shaken right now. But if you are doing a roll where you're being stressed out with courage is going to negatively impact you, I will get to add that die to my dice pool.
Mm-hmm. Nah, never mind. I'm gonna save my plot point.
Okay, so we're gonna leave that at D8. And I'm just gonna roll for the ship. It's the name of the ship is 2D8s because it wasn't fixed up as good as it could have been, but it's not too bad. But it's bad enough that it's gonna take a little stress onto it here, which is not ideal.
Whoops.
So the ship is currently is catching fire. There are sails catching fire. There's bits of wood that are catching fire. There's the last stores of wine that you hadn't gotten to, Lysandra. They're starting to this is not a great couple days for this ship. It's not going good. So it's the mob's turn. This ship is in bad shape. It could be dangerous to stay on it for too long, and the mob is going to pick for Tony to go next.
I will go next, huh? Okay, so ship's on fire. I've already got a couple people who I've been working with anyway. I'm gonna grab those two, like I'll turn around and say, you and you, it's time to get to work, and we're gonna go and get those sort of barrels of water and start doing some things with that. I will attempt to use my wings to help myself fly down and scoop up water and start throwing it off and I'm just trying to do the stress recovery for the ship.
Yeah, love it.
So, and I'm leading them like this is a battle situation as far as I'm concerned, so I'll use warrior.
Love it.
And courage, because this is a scary situation. I'm going to go ahead and do it. I think though that I've got stress on courage, right?
You do have stress on courage.
You'll get to roll that
courage stress
in opposition to me since I used it. That's really the way it works, is if I use an attribute that's got stress on it, you get to use it as opposition. So, and Big Hunter Captain, do that, and my flight. So my goal is to try and roll and get an effect die that's bigger than the current stress on the ship. And if I do, then I can get rid of it. If I don't, I step it down. And I got a 14.
Whoa, okay, that's
With a
pretty
D10
darn good. All right, so this is just going to be a 2d8 pool against that. Boop. Yeah, that's a heroic success.
Hooray!
So you working with these pirates, and also, Caron, he doesn't want his ship to be messed up, so he also, I believe sirens have flight as well. And
that's why they're half.
Check that. Yep, because
they're
they're bird and
owl.
jackal. Yeah,
Owl
so
and jackal.
he is similarly taking flight to get water, and so you're both working at this, and the fires are going out, which is good because that ship was very close to not being good. So very good use of your turn. Cam, who's next?
Because I don't want to have, if I picked Delphine to go next, then she would only have the option to make the endarchs to go next. So I'm gonna have to pick Damaris.
Excellent, Damaris. Yeah, Damaris sees this all forming. She's not happy. She's just going to go ahead, and they've been leading up. She's already kind of made the signal, and they've led him up. The smaller figure of Zeph's brother. She kind of pulls the head off. Not the head off. Wow. That would have been real bad. all at once. The hood off.
Don't do that.
Words are great. And somebody else has brought her the box once more. She pulls out that dark-looking knife, and she kind of holds it up, and her voice booms unnaturally, and almost like the sound itself it's not echoing. There's no echo to her voice, but it is just this loud sound that almost pierces directly over to you all. And she brings this knife to the side of his neck and shouts out, "Well, I don't believe that it's sunset yet, but if you'd like this to end now, then I suppose we might as well." And she's trying to, do some little mental damage onto you, Zeph. So she has a lot of dice for this. So she got a couple d8s plus her Skotos scale die. This is going to be her warrior, which is a d8. And this is going to be her guile as a d10. And I'm going to roll that.
Whoa.
Well, hang on, because I get to keep 3 dice.
Ooh.
So it's a 25.
Oh,
All
my
right,
God.
I got this.
Yes, and you're currently shaken, so you will only get to keep 1 die in your pool.
I only get to use 1 die, period?
Uh-huh.
Okay, cool. No, that's fine. I still got it.
Sure. Yeah, it's all good.
I am going to use... Can I still pick it from anywhere? Like
Well, so you're
roll-
going to make your dice pool the same way, but you only get to keep 1 die as the result.
Oh, I'm sorry. I see what you're saying. I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
what?
So you're
What
gonna,
do I-
yeah. So Zeph, build the dice pool as normal. You don't have access to your endarch distinction because that is shut down while the all of your kind of endarch powers are going into this summoned eidolon.
Mhm.
But you have everything else from your sheets. You can go ahead and build a pool.
Okay, got it. But I can't use my endarch distinction. Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or powers.
Or powers, yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah, no, that makes sense. All right, so this will be warrior, because he's like trying to be like, he's trying to summon the inner, summon some inner fortitude as he's trying to kind of come to grips with what's happening right now. Courage. And then I'm going to use Swear to Me as a hindrance because he's finally kind of come to the moment and it's not what it was supposed to be. And
Okay, you get a plot point for that.
yes, I do. If this is going to be hopeless, I might as well cash out. And that's it.
Okay.
Yeah, I rolled a hitch too.
Yeah, delightful.
I'm back,
well, I'll, go
baby.
ahead, I'll buy that hitch from you. I'll go ahead and I'll give you a plot point. So you got 2 of them now. And I will step up your courage stress to 12. And that's going to be a double heroic success, I believe. So it's going to
Shouldn't it be called a heroic success for you?
No, it's not. It's a Mellie success.
It's a Mellie
It's a
Mellie
guilty success sometimes. I feel a little bit bad at how well I rolled on that one. So that steps up my effect die to a d12. And I could take you out of the scene by putting that onto courage.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I think if I just get another thing in... Yeah, okay. I mean, that's the only one that really makes sense for this. This is gonna go to your courage because this is her trying to make you afraid. And so I'm gonna go ahead and step that up. So it's gonna go stepped up above 12. So you can't participate in this scene. You are just like...
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah.
What about
so
what about the griffin?
what about the griffin?
If you take out the endarch, the eidolon loses its coherent thing.
This went really great. Hey, penultimate episode. Gotta do the drama.
Wait, are you saying it just dissipates or it goes feral?
It's you lose control of it, and generally you're the thing being the conduit to bring it into the world from the echo. And so if you're not around, like if you're dead or unconscious or knocked out or incapacitated, then the Eidolon can't be here.
Got it.
So it's gonna dissipate. It'll be a real noisy way to go out, though. I mean, that's.
Yeah. So you're just kind of you can see this, like your eagle eyes. I guess you don't have those right now. Through your connection with the Griffin Eidolon that is currently here, it's almost like it's this connection between you that you're kind of funneling your power into it. It gives you kind of this bird's eye view of things, and you see him, and it's the first time you've seen him in so long, and he has a knife at the side of his throat. Describe this to me from here, Joe.
So this has been the thing driving Zeph for several years now. He left home. He's been finding other lost kids in his quest to find his brother. It's become his purpose. It's become kind of the only thing that drives him. He doesn't, he sleeps outside. He left this very privileged, rich home. He eats scraps out of the trash when he has to. All the reasons he's sort of weird and socially stunted tie in to the fact that he's basically just become this weird hobo tracker. And suddenly just this thing that he's been obsessing over is in front of him, and it's completely turned over on its side. And with that fear, with that failure comes a lot of the primary toxic ways that men express fear and failure, which is rage and anger. And the griffin lowers down almost and sort of its body tilting up, and just these eyes are almost level with her and with his brother, not right here, but like kind of almost like ship level, and with just this one final like defiant, angry, scattered, chaotic, just clawing at any semblance of reality right now, just anguished scream. Again, that combination of a lion's roar and an eagle's scream. It just starts to pull back into the echo and fall back out of this reality, back into, and you see that energy trace go back into Zeph. The eagle eyes leave his body, and there's this moment of just this terrified, lonely man, and he just falls to his knees crying.
And in this same moment, the sun disappears at the bottom of the horizon, and this kind of just this purple, that green flash that occurs, that happens, and then this whole air is kind of just in this purple twilight, and a cloud shifts as kind of the griffin just dissipates into it, kind of turning back into the sky and the wind and everything around, and it parts, revealing the moon, the full moon, and the light of that moonbeam strikes down, and as it casts upon the ocean, it begins to swirl, and this whirlpool begins to form in the middle of these ships coming together. And in the base of it, you can all see this endless path, or what looks to be an endless path, down and down and down into it. And in the midst of this battle, in the midst of Zephyrinus losing his courage in this moment, is where we're going to pause and come back into this action scene and into the Fates whirlpool next week in our finale episode. Joe, that was amazing. I love it, and love you all. And if you have the emotion for it, Joe, can you do some business?
Of course I can, and I won't stick around long because it's hard to top the story that Mellie is weaving. Thank you so much for that. Again, depending on where you're watching us, there's links in the chat. There's links in the description below. Tales of Zadia, the official Dragon Prince RPG, available for pre-order right now. That includes a free playtest tale that you can download. Keep your ears and eyes out. There's a lot more Tales of Zadia to come soon. So keep your eyes open for that. Also, a lot of some fun announcements coming up for some stuff we're going to be doing right here on Fandom Tabletop and with Roll and Keep that I'm super excited about. Just waiting for the ink to dry on a few of them, and then some pretty fun stuff's going to happen pretty soon. We will be here next week for the finale of Eidolon Alpha. Thank you guys so much. Take care of each other. Be safe. I love this cast. I appreciate being able to play with you guys so much. We'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.